Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello and welcome to today's presentation. Today we will see how we tackle problems in Microsoft Visual Studio. We have 3 problems that have been solved and will be presented by each of our members. Before we proceed, let's get to know our team members. First of all, my name is Muhammad Amiruddin bin Zulkifli, and here we got Amir Firdaus bin Rosman, and then we got Muhammad Faiz Aiman bin Fakhrurrazi, and lastly Amirul Iman bin Ahmad Keflee. We are from Group 6, and now let's begin our Lab 5 presentation.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Faiz Aiman bin Fakhrurrazi. So I will be presenting program 1. So this is program 1. So the question asks to calculate two value of hexagon, the perimeter of the both hexagons, and after we calculate the perimeter of the both hexagons, we need to total up both values. So in this question, we need to find three calculation. The first one, the perimeter of hexagon 1. The second one is for hexagon 2, and finally the sum or the addition of both hexagon, both perimeter of hexagon. So in this program, I list here 5 type of string which will be used in the output of the program. And in this here, I wrote here site hex 1 and site hex 2, which will be used to find for the user to enter the value of the site value for the hexagon. So in this case, site hex 1 is for the site value for hexagon 1, and site hex 2 is for the site value for hexagon 2. And for the last two, the perimeter hexagon 1 and perimeter hexagon 2 will be used to calculate the sum, the total sum of the value for hexagon 1 and hexagon 2. So in this case, so this is our code over here. So basically we use loop as mentioned from the questions. We need to use loops. So basically how do we use loop? We declare ECX 6 times because ECX can be declared as a counter. So in the calculation, when we have the value site hex 1, which entered by the user, the value will be added 6 times, and the total will move to the perimeter hexagon 1 here. So all of this is to calculate the perimeter of hexagon 1, and below here is to calculate the value for hexagon 2. So where do we declare to calculate the total of both hexagon? We wrote it here. So basically we declared EAX as hexagon 1 and EBX for hexagon 2, and we add EAX and EBX to calculate the total of both hexagon, and we write it in here, in the string here. So let's try and run. Okay. Here, enter set value for hexagon 1. So in this case, I will choose 5. So it will show up the total perimeter of hexagon 1 is 30, which means 5 is added by the number 5 6 times, which is 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 until 6 times, and we get the answer, which is 30. So the second one, we need to find the value of site value for hexagon 2, which now I will enter 3. So if I enter 3, I will hopefully get the value of perimeter of hexagon 2, which is 18. Alright, we got here positive 18. And finally, the total perimeter, which we need to add the value of hexagon 1 and hexagon 2, which is 30 plus 18, which we will get 48. So this is the correct answer for calculating perimeter of two values of hexagon and total perimeter of both hexagon. So by looking at here, side hex 1, which I enter value 5, and side hex 2, I enter value 3. So in the EAX is the 48, which act as the total perimeter of hexagon, which we calculated on the last line of the code. And here, perimeter hexagon 1 and perimeter hexagon 2 will show the value of perimeter of hexagon, which here is 30 and hexagon 2 is 18. So I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today I will explain about the program 2, which is my team has need to write a program in assembly language to multiple two unsigned number. Your program should ask the user to input the multiplicand and the multiplier. The program will do multiplication of n multiplied by m using mul. Your program should store multiplicand, multiplier, and the result in this variable multiplicand, multiplier, and product respectively. So, this program need to show us that we need to enter multiplicand and the multiplier. Then the process will happen. Then the result will show the product of from the multiplicand and the multiplier. So we proceed to the Visual Studio Code, which is for the variable product, multiplier, and multiplier, we use the double word, and line 1 until line 5, which we use byte, which is line 1 will show please enter a multiplicand from number 1 until number 9. The line 2 will show the please enter a multiplier between number 1 until number 9. Multiplicand which until line 4 will show the process which multiplicand of multiplicand and the multiplication of multiplicand and multiplier, and the line 5 will show the product of the multiplicand and the multiplier. So from this will show the process, which is for this line 1 will become the EDX and it will display on the screen, and correct this is for the user to enter the input of what the multiplicand number they want to choose, and this number will become the EAX to the become a multiplicand. Then we go to the next step, which is the line 2. Please enter a multiplier. So this will become the EDX and will display on the screen, and correct this for the user to enter the multiplier number, and this will become EAX to become the multiplier. This then the process will happen, which is multiplier will become EDX, and EDX will multiply among himself and the multiplier. So the product is EAX will become the product. Then this will show the process between the multiplicand multiple with the multiplier, and this will show the product of how what the number will be become the result from the multiplicand and the multiplier. So I will try to debug it, and as you can see, if we enter the number 3 and the multiplier for 6, this will show the process between the multiplicand and the multiplier, and will show the result, which is if 3 multiple with 6, it will show the product is 18. So I hope all of you can understand what the program 2 that we need to process. Okay, thank you.
Hello, and today I will be explaining about program 3. For program 3, we are tasked to make additions for odd number and even number. So let's see the code. First of all, the most important things are the strings that will be displayed. Okay, for the first string, it's enter integer. We are asking the user to input numbers, integers. And then for string 2, we have total odd, which means the total of odd numbers in the sequence. And then we have string 3, which is total even, which is the addition of all the even numbers in the sequence. Okay, so in the main code, we will see this block of code repeatedly because this code is basically for the input part. We'll see that this one is offset string 1. We will move it into the EDX, the display register, and then we will call write string to display the string. Then we will call read int so that we can input, or the user can input a number, and then we call control F to give it space. And then next we will enter the loop. For the loop, we will add it to the EAX, and then it will loop according to the type of loop. And then here we can see that we have set the counter to 3, so it will loop 3 times. In the end, it will show, for odd, it will show string 2, where we will call write string, and it will display the amount that is calculated by the program. And then control F, which is to give it space. So that is basically our program. Okay, so let's try our program. Okay, let's say the first integer we're going to import is 17. The next integer, let's go for something bigger, 23. The next one, maybe 12. Next one, 26. And the next one, maybe 42. And then the last one, 67. And then here we can see that when we have 6 integers, when we add integer 1, 3, and 5, 17 plus 12 is 29, plus 42 is 71, which is total odd. And then we have we can add integer 2, 4, and 6. 23 plus 56 is 79, plus 67 is 146, which is our total even. So there you have it. That is our program tree.